Alright, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of information about creating joints for animating. Okay, now I have 5 different joints here. Um, the first joint on the right is basically if you were to animate something with really no other joints in there. Now, when you animate this, the problem is it's going to bend the entire joint around. You see that? See how it's kind of moving the joint so that it squeezes tight the joint, but then it also bulges the outer joints. Okay, and that isn't good for your animation either. Okay, now if I close in the joints like so, and I'm going to animate this, what happens is it squeezes the 3 circles together. Okay, and that's not good either. All right, and it doesn't really animate those joints as well. All right, so that is, 2 examples of joints that don't work. Now, when you create a section where you're actually collapsing 3 of the joints on the back into one geometry or one set of edge, you're going to get a better animation. See, you're going to get it's going to bend and it's going to squeeze a little bit because it's collapsing, but it's not going to kind of crunch the outer joint. Okay, now I've always found that when you center it, you're going to get an okay animation. However, if you don't put enough angle in there and you don't put your joint in the beginning, what happens is, and this is going to be harder to see, but let me just grab all this here. And, oops, so I want to grab that one. And I move this, and when I animate this joint, you see as it gets up tighter, because I don't have enough bone pushed forward enough, what's going to happen is it's going to start collapsing into more of a triangle look. Here, when I animate this joint, okay, the bone is in the foreground, closer to where the kneecap would be. This joint gives you much better deformation than this one does. Okay, so I always like putting the bones right where they would actually be on the human being. So if this was a knee or an elbow, the bone would be in the right spot right here. Okay, you would get a much better deformation here than you will on this one. And this one's, while it's still not too bad, when you do collapse it to be tighter, okay, when you do collapse them to be tighter, this one has a lot more deformation than this one does. Okay, and these two just don't cut it. All right, I would hope that clears it up a little bit.